Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the store and AFK companions and which items you should be prioritizing every day when you go to check up on daily purchases, weekly purchases, and monthly purchases. So we're going to just kind of start at the normal store and then move on through Arena, Guild, and Barracks. So in the normal store, you'll see something similar to this. The weapon rarity will change depending on how far in the game you are. But basically, no, you should probably never buy any of these ever. Just because, for one, it's a lot of diamonds. It's not worth it. You'll get these throughout just by playing the game. And you should really never be spending your diamonds on this kind of, fodder, weapons, armor, etc. Now, you can't see everything that's normally on here because I bought them down here already. So one thing you'll see are the scrolls. You should always buy the scrolls. They are discounted rates, meaning you'll get more bang for your buck buying from here than buying summons at the summoning shop. Next thing are the purple essence. You should always buy these as well, just because, as you may know, purple essence is a pretty rare material that you will want more and more of as you play the game. As much as you can stock up on now, the better. The only other thing I want to mention are these two things up at top. So the primordial emblems, not really the biggest priority, though you will find that you are pretty scarce on these. So if you are wanting to level up a unit's signature item, feel free to spend your diamonds on it, but it might not be the best thing to prioritize. Similarly are the capture permits. These are for your beast, the summon more beast, and the beast are important parts of the game. But I would say early on, I would just try to save up as many diamonds as possible so you can use those towards units and not towards the beast permits. I would say as you progress in the game, you'll probably want to start picking these up, but because there's so many, I mean, you'll have to spend 9,000 diamonds to get all of these, which is great because that's 30 summons. But at this point in the game, 9,000 diamonds is a good amount of diamonds. You're probably getting around 2,000 a day, depending on where you are through different quests and things like that. And so I would say hold off on buying these now. And as you progress in the game, maybe consider this if you're trying to still level up your beast. Now moving on to the arena store, this one's where it's a little tricky because basically everything in the store is really good. Right now I am focusing on getting Mortis just because he's a great unit for the clan boss and has a few other functions in the game. I would say I would focus on Mortis over Orthros just because he doesn't have quite as much utility in the game. There's other units that are better to be prioritized and focus. Now, some of you might be considering either spending your arena coins on here or on the Stargazer scrolls. I did the math, and basically, if the percentages are completely accurate to what they say they are, you will get a unit from Stargazing if you spend the same amount it takes, the same amount of coins for Mortis on the Stargazing scrolls. You'll get 66% of the time every time you get one of these. So basically, you're getting a better bang for your buck getting a unit in general by getting the soul stones here versus here. You're getting it 66% slower by buying these. Now, that doesn't mean you'll never want to buy these because once you get Mortis, you might just want one copy and that's it. I would say try to get as much copies of Mortis as possible now because you never know when some of these shops might change. Some of these units might not be available anymore. Another thing that some people might be tempted to buy are the Destiny Summon Scrolls. So the Destiny Summons, let's go to that real quick. If my game wants to work. As many of you may know, AFK Companions is a little glitchy. Okay. So, Destiny Summons, this is where you will be able to summon whatever unit is here. Right now it is Gwen. I would say it's probably not worth buying these in the shop right now, just because these units, one, are units you can just get from normal play. Like, you can just get these from normal draws. And two, you just need so many of these to even get guaranteed. The rates are kind of they're nothing too crazy. And so it just doesn't seem worth it to spend your arena store coins on these. You get 5, which is nice, but it just, in my mind, it maybe isn't the best. But the only thing that is nice is you still get the fodder for whatever faction the unit is that you're pulling for. So it will be nice to get the fodder. If you're really looking for like light bearer fodder, you can buy these to get fodder when pulling for Gwyn. And I'm gonna wait for that to load. These, I just don't think these are really necessary at this point. As you progress in the game, obviously things change. The Stargazer cards or emblems will probably be more valuable than these, but for now, I would say Mortis should be your biggest priority and focus right now. Now the guild coins, this similar to the previous things I mentioned, basically never buy the armor, weapon, etc. It's just not worth it. You get this stuff throughout just by playing the game. There's never a point where you just need a bunch of these, legendary Berserker Treachery or legendary Reigns Protect. Like, you just don't need a ton of these things. So I wouldn't prioritize any of these ever. You'll definitely always want to buy these scrolls when they're available. As you can see, I've bought all of them. And this is where it gets a little tricky and kind of up to your personal opinion. I've personally been using this as my way of getting the capture permits because they are at a discounted rate. 5,400 is a very achievable amount I get basically every day just by playing the game. And so I use my guild store coins for this. Now, if you're wanting to max out some of these characters, say you're really wanting to max out Numasu, then maybe you want to buy the shards for him. Now, keep in mind, these are all 15s, not full units. So you have to buy these 4 times to get 1 unit. I would say out of all these, Nimsu is probably the one you'd want the most, but depending on what you're going for, the needs of your team, you might want to focus on someone else. But like I said, I personally think the capture permits are great value here, and it's nice to get a few of these a day because sometimes you don't really get a lot of these in the game, and so getting some flow from something is really nice. And now the barracks. This is where things get kind of boring. The shop is a very typical barracks shop that you would see in AFK Arena. You can get the shards down here, which you can see I've bought all these. You can see I've bought all these too. I need a lot of fodder right now because the game is so early on, and I'm not necessarily super worried about getting like random units. I just need a ton of fodder. So I've been focusing these instead of the elite heroes. I just been getting the common heroes, buying them when I can, and you get a decent amount of these. So honestly, I might be able to even, this won't refresh for 15 days, so I'll probably get 1 or 2 more of these on top of buying all these every time. So you can buy out the entire barracks store almost if you just play the game. So just kind of buy what you need at the moment and then get what you can as the month goes on, because this doesn't refresh until every month. So I hope that was helpful, guys. I know the stores kind of level up as you play them. So like here, you can see once you clear 21-1, you'll get this on top of everything else. So there might be things you want to check up on, save for. Here's another one. All the items will go up to Mythic. There's a world where it might be nice to have some Mythic items. But again, if your guild's level 8, you're probably pretty far in the game and you're probably getting a decent amount of Mythic items already. I would still say I wouldn't prioritize any of these, even if they're Mythic, but to each their own. Some of you might want something different. But I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more AFK Companions video in the future, feel free to subscribe and have a great day.